Last episode, we showed you the gap. 185,000 saved. $1.26 million needed. That gap has a name. Today, we're showing you exactly how it was built. This is the most educated generation in history. More degrees, more certifications, more information than any generation before, and more financial anxiety than almost any generation before, too. That isn't a coincidence. That's a system. And it was built long before you were born. This video is for the person who followed every instruction. Study hard, get the degree, find the job, work hard, and still feels like they're falling behind. If that's you, you didn't fail the system. The system failed you, and it did exactly what it was designed to do. There is one word, one concept, that almost never appears in a standard school curriculum. Not in primary school, not in high school, not in most universities. That word is ownership, and its absence isn't random. It's structural. I'll show you why, and what that absence actually cost you. Instead of ownership, school teaches three things: how to become a reliable employee, how to earn a salary, how to manage that salary responsibly. All three sound responsible. None of them create ownership. And ownership is where wealth actually comes from. Look at what the education system actually produces. A person trained to need a job. Not someone who creates jobs. Not someone who owns systems. Someone who exchanges time for money. On someone else's schedule. On someone else's terms. Building someone else's asset. The Federal Reserve data shows the difference clearly. Median net worth after 40 years for a full-time employee, $185,000. Median net worth for business owners, $1.1 million. Same 40 years. Two completely different financial outcomes. Verdict: the employee blueprint wasn't designed to make you wealthy. It was designed to make you reliable. And those are not the same thing. But the real shift didn't stop there. Because the system didn't just teach employment. It replaced ownership with something else entirely. Salary. Before industrialization, most people owned something. A farm. A trade. A craft. They didn't earn a salary. They owned their output. Your time and reliability. In exchange for predictable income. For the worker, that felt like stability. For the factory, it meant keeping the ownership. Generation after generation. Ownership stayed with the factory. Salary stayed with the worker. And the gap between them kept widening. Verdict: salary didn't build wealth. Salary replaced the ownership people once had. Most people never reclaimed it. This is episode 2 of a series on how wealth systems actually work. Every episode builds on the last one. If you haven't watched EP1 yet, the link is in the description. Subscribe now. The salary system is the visible part, but the real trap is deeper. It's the mechanism that locks most people inside it permanently. Here's how the lock-in works. You earn a salary. The salary supports a lifestyle. The lifestyle creates obligations: mortgage, car payments, subscriptions, school fees. Each obligation raises your financial floor. Your floor is the minimum income required just to maintain your current life. Once that floor rises, risk becomes dangerous. You can't leave a stable salary. You can't survive months of uncertain income. Ownership requires risk. The lifestyle removes your ability to take it. Every raise you earn gets absorbed by the next level of obligations. This isn't a personality flaw. This is a structural trap, built into the system deliberately. Verdict: the longer someone stays inside the salary system, the harder ownership becomes. Not because they lack discipline, because the floor keeps rising. Now you can see it clearly. School trains you to seek employment. Employment pays a salary. Salary builds a lifestyle. Lifestyle creates obligations. Obligations require the salary. The salary requires the job. Round and round. For 40 years, you worked inside the system. But the system wasn't building wealth for you. It was building wealth for the people who own it. That's not an accident. That's the design. And the exit is not a better salary. The exit is building something outside the loop entirely. So who actually escapes this? Because some people do. Not many, but some. And they don't escape by earning more. They escape by doing one specific thing differently before the obligations lock them in. In episode 3, we're going to show you exactly who those people are, what they had in common, and the one decision that separated them from everyone who stayed stuck. EP3 drops Thursday.